Hello, Lovelace. Welcome to today's maths lesson, which continues our work on adding fractions. But today we're going to expand on that and we're going to create answers that are slightly bigger. In fact, our answers are going to be bigger than one, bigger than a whole. So it allows us to reflect back on improper fractions and also converting those improper fractions to mixed numbers. Okay, so bigger answers today. But as usual, let's start with a warm-up. 3 questions to get you going. Pause the video and have a go at these. Now, the first question is all about looking at the numbers, not just thinking about the operation. So we know we're going to add them together, and we know we normally need a common denominator and all of those strategies and all those things. But if we look at the numbers, we should see that we've got a half and a half. And we know that half and half make a whole one. We've got a whole one there plus a quarter. So we've got 1 1/4. And we've achieved that without any calculation at all, simply by looking at the numbers. Number 2, a little bit more traditional. We are going to have to create our common denominator here. I'm going to suggest 21. So 5/7, we're going to multiply top and bottom by 3 to get 15 over 21. So we've got 15 over 21, 4 over 21. And then for this one, multiply by 3 again to give us 9 over 21. Okay, so 15, 4, and 9 gives us 28 over 21. Now that's a correct answer, but improper fractions are pretty ugly. So it's always good if we can convert them into mixed numbers. So a reminder, we see how many denominators fit into the numerator. So how many 21s in 28? Well, there's 1 with 7 left over. So 1 whole 1, 7 remainder becomes our new numerator, and it stays over 21. Okay, so there's our mixed number. But again, some of you might be looking at thinking, I can simplify that. I can divide top and bottom by 7. So as long as you divide the top and the bottom by the same number, then you've created an equivalent fraction. So 1 and 7 over 21 becomes 1 1/3. Really well done if you've got that. Question 3 is equivalence. 1/5 is the same as how many 15ths? Well, 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 3 is 3. Remember, whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 1 times 9 is 9. 5 times 9 is 45. Right. Now, I said at the start we were looking at adding 3 fractions, and we are. We're just using 2 to start us off, just so we've got the idea of what's going on. So here we've got 5/6 and 2/3. As you know, we need to create a common denominator, and I'm going to suggest 6ths. So we've got our 5/6. We don't need to worry about that one. 2/3 becomes 4/6 because we're going to multiply top and bottom by 2. Okay, so we've got 5/6 and 4/6. So there's our 5/6 in our bar model. We're going to add 4/6 to that. 1, 2. Oh, it's fallen off the end. So let's bring it into this one here. 2, 3, 4. So there we go. 5/6 and 4/6. So altogether, we have got 9/6. But if we look at our bar model, you can see we've got a whole one and 3 extras. So a whole one and 3/6. Now 3/6, some of you will have spotted, we'll simplify and we can look at a bar model to see that half of the bar is shaded. 3/6 is equivalent to a half. Okay, so 5/6 plus 2/3 equals 1 1/2. Right, moving on to our 3 fractions now. And now we've got the idea. Again, really important that we look for a common denominator. So a number that 4 and 2 and 8 all go into. I'm going to suggest 8. Okay, so we'll leave the 7/8 alone. Our 3/4 becomes 6/8 because we've times the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. Our half becomes 4/8 because we've times top and bottom by 4. And our 7/8 stays as it is. Okay, so there's our 7/8. We're going to add 6/8 to that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to add 4 more 8s onto that. 3, and 1 more is 4. Okay, so there's our bar model to show 6/8 plus 4/8 plus 7/8. And you can see all together, we've got 17/8, or 2 whole ones, and 1/8. Okay, so we can see that with our bar model. Now, I'm expecting you guys to be able to work out the improper fraction yourself with the calculation. And then hopefully most of us will remember the division method. We won't need to draw bar models. They're there to help us if we need them. But I'm hoping you can look at 17/8 and think, how many 8s in 17? There's 2 with 1 left over. So 2 becomes my whole number, and the remainder becomes the numerator in the fraction. Okay. Right, here's one for you. 11/18 plus 5/9. Have a think. Well, we're going to convert them into 18ths. So 5/9 becomes 10/18. So we've now got 11/18 plus 10/18. There's our 11. Add 10 more. And there we have it. So you can see we've got 1 whole one and 3 extras. Or we've got 21/18. That's our improper fraction. Or 1 3/18. Now the 3/18, some of us will have spotted. We can divide top and bottom by 3 to give us 1/6. Well done if you simplified. What about this one? 11/12, 10/24, and 5/6. Now, I want to switch it up here because we could turn them all into 24ths. That's absolutely fine. And if that's what you've done, I'm sure it's perfectly correct. But I'm going to turn them all into 12ths. So I'm going to divide. I've spotted that you can divide 10/24 by 2, get 5/12ths. So I've got 11/12, 5/12, and 10/12. Altogether, that gives me 26/12. And I can ask myself, how many 12s go into 26? Well, it's 2 with 2 left over. So 2 and 2/12. And I can simplify the 2/12 to give me 1/6. Okay. All of those answers would be correct because I have not said in its smallest terms. Okay, I've not asked you to simplify, but if you have, it's a great habit to get into. Okay, your turn. 3 questions or 3 sets of questions. Pause the video. In the first little box, I'm looking for the improper fraction. In the next box, I want the mixed number. Okay, away you go. Right, let's have a look at these answers. But 1, the improper fraction will be 12/10. As a mixed number, that's 1 1/5. So if you've got 1 2/10, that's fine. B is 10/10. Now, if the numerator and denominator are the same, we know that equals 1. C, 19/12, which is a mixed number, is 1 7/12. Okay. Question 2, we've got 23/20, which results as 1 3/20. B is 32/20, which is 1 3/5. Or maybe you've got 1 12/20. C, 14/12, or 1 1/6, or 1 2/12 will be okay. D is 21/12, which is 1 3/4, or 1 9/12 is okay. E is 20/15, which is 1 1/3, or 1 5/15. And finally, 36/15, which is the same as 2 2/5, or 2 6/15. Okay, so there's questions 1 and 2. Question 3, matching the pairs. In all of these, the second fraction is 9/20. So we can sort of ignore that. We're just looking for equivalence in the first part. So 3/5 is the same as 12/20. 3/4 is the same as 15/20. 4/5 is the same as 16/20, and 7/10 is the same as 14/20. Right, a word problem for you, and this one is going to take a little bit of thinking about. There's no bit of this that you can't do, but it is quite a complicated question because there's lots of little bits to think about. So let's work it through together. Eva has some bottles of lemonade, water, and apple juice. The bottles have a mass of 3 kilograms altogether. So that means all the drinks combined is 3 kilograms. The bottles of water have a mass of 7/8 of a kilogram in total. So she's got 7/8 of a kilogram of water. Each bottle of lemonade has a mass of 11/16. And Eva's got 2 of those. So we've got 2 11/16. Okay. How much do the bottles of apple juice weigh? So what we've got here is we've got the total of all the drinks, and then we're told how much water we've got and how much lemonade, and we need to work out the missing number. We need to work out what the apple juice is. Okay. Have a think. See if you can work it through yourself, and then we're going to look at it together. Okay. So let's break it down. Eva has some bottles of lemonade, water, and apple juice. The bottles have a mass of 3 kilograms altogether. So what that means is we've got our lemonade, our water, and our apple juice. And all together, that's 3 kilograms. Now, the water has a mass of 7/8 of a kilogram. So there's our bar model to show 7/8 of a kilogram. Now, the lemonade is 11/16 of a kilogram, but we've got 2 of them. So there's one 11/16. There's a second. Okay. So altogether, we've got a bit more lemonade than water because there are 2 separate ones, each 11/16. How much do all the bottles of apple juice weigh? Okay, so we've got 11/16 plus 11/16 plus 7/8 plus something equals 3. There's our calculation. Now, first of all, let's start by turning everything into 16ths. So our 7/8 we're going to turn into 14/16. Okay, so we've now got 11 plus 11 plus 14 plus something equals our 3 kilograms. But what's that in 16ths? Well, 1 kilogram is 16/16. 2 kilograms is 32/16. So 3 kilograms is 48/16. Okay, so that's what it. So we've got 11 plus 11 plus 14 plus something is 48. Well, 11 plus 11 plus 14 is 36. So we've got 36/16 here in the pink and purple area. How many more do we need to get to 48? Well, the answer is 12. 11 plus 11 plus 14 plus 12 gives us our 48. So we now know altogether there's 12/16 of a kilogram of apple juice. Okay. Now, those 12/16 is actually it's 3 bottles. So what's the weight? What's the mass of 1 bottle? Well, we're just going to do 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So 4/16 for each bottle of apple juice. And that simplifies down to 1/4. So each bottle of apple juice is 1/4 of a kilogram. Now, I know there's a lot of steps there. There really are. It's a very complicated question. But each little bit of it you can do. We just need to work it through step by step. Right. Here's one. 5/8 plus 2/7 plus 3/8. Now, I'm showing you these couple of questions, again, just to make you think about the numbers in each question. Because here, if we just add the 8s together, so let's just reorder the question. So we've got the 8s together. If you've got 5/8 plus 3/8, don't worry about this for a second. 5/8 and 3/8, you've got 8/8. So you've got a whole one there. So we've got a whole one plus 2/7. There's our whole one plus 2/7. That's it. No converting, no equivalent fractions, no messing about, because you took a moment to look at the numbers. Have a think about this one. Same idea. See if there's a nice combination. Now, I'm seeing this 9 as a denominator and thinking there's an 18 there. That would be a really simple conversion. That would give me 14 over 18. So I've got 4 over 18 plus 14 over 18. That's 18 over 18. That's a whole one. So these two fractions together give me a whole one. And then I've just got the 3/13 to add on. Okay. So one tiny little bit of equivalence, but an easy bit. And then we've been able to spot a really easy solution. Okay. So always look at the numbers as well to see if there's a little shortcut. an easy way to doing a calculation. Okay, your turn. We've got a word problem similar to the lemonade, water and apple juice question, but it just breaks it down a little bit for you. So don't panic, work it through. And then we've got some of our pyramids where the two numbers below add up to the number above. Okay. Right. Pause the video, have a go at those two. Right, your answers. Now, Dexter's got some tins of food, and there are 4 types of food: beans, sweet corn, soup, and tomatoes. The total weight is 2 kilograms. He's got 2/3 of a kilogram of beans, 5/12 of a kilogram of sweet corn, and 1/4 of a kilogram of soup. So we're breaking it down. We're just going to work out the 3 together, first of all. So 2/3, 5/12, and 1/4. All together, that gives us 1 1/3 of a kilogram. Now, you might have left that in twelfths. So you'll have 1 and 4/12. Or maybe you've left it as an improper fraction, which would be, what would that be? 1 4/12 would be 16/12. Okay, so you might still have 16/12, which would be a correct answer. So you've worked out the weight of the beans, the sweet corn, and the soup. Now you want to work out the tomatoes. So you're simply going to take that number away from 2 kilograms, or count on 2 kilograms, and you're going to end up with 2/3 of a kilogram. Or if you've left it in twelfths, you're going to end up with 8/12 of a kilogram. 5, there are all your missing numbers for your pyramids. Check them through yourself. Some of them might be the equivalent. Okay, so you might have converted these into sixths, so that would be 3/6. Here we might have converted into tenths, so you're going to have 2/10. So if you've converted, if you've got an equivalent, it's still correct, but just double check it is an equivalent. Okay, but that's the end of today's session. Well done, guys, sticking with it. As usual, take care of yourself, look after those around you, stay safe, and I will see you all very soon.